I'm a little bit tired.
Of course.
I got to tell you, it's hard to fall asleep after a game like that last night. And I don't know what to tell you. It was there's so many things to talk about in this game, but it's like a typical Islander game. Get behind, come back, get behind, and stay behind, and then somehow tie the game. The Scott Mayfield shot was ridiculous. Scott Mayfield may also be the reason why Nikita Kucherov is out because of a really nasty cross-check. I think Patrick Sharp said it in between innings. I mean, the referees are letting it go because both teams are doing it. But that Mayfield cross-check on Kucherov was just, I mean, it was brutal.
It was, but I thought it seemed like he got more hurt on the hit on Barzell.
Well, it's hard to tell where he got hurt. And, he may have re-injured his hip. He may have hurt he may have hurt a rib. I'm not sure what it is, and we're not going to find out what it is until this whole thing's over with and their season's over with, because they're going to want you to think that he's still going to be able to play. But it was physical last night. It was nasty last night. It was everything that you expected the Islanders to look like. They were defending their home building. It could still be the last game that they ever play in there, and if it is, it goes down as a great game. It goes down as one of the great games. And they did have puck luck last night. I don't care what anybody said. One of the guys on my text threads that I text thread back and forth with hockey said, the ghost of Islanders past was in that building last night because the way that the puck had bounced a couple of times in favor of the Islanders, unlike the way it went in Game 5, where the puck was bouncing all around for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and there were deflections going in Varlamov in the first period. Well, that stuff didn't happen last night. They played a lot better defensively. They didn't make nearly as many mistakes. But I will say, this Braden Point kid, this kid is something special. He is a really, really great hockey player. He's not just a scorer. He's not just a guy that hangs around the net. He's a guy that goes and gets the puck, takes it away from one of the best Islander defender, and then somehow gets the puck back on his stick and is able to score the first goal of the night. I mean, that guy is really, really special. But, they're a good team. They're a great team. Excuse me. They're a great team. But without Kucherov on their power play, they're a different team. There were a couple one-time chances, and I think it was Andre Palat who took over for Kucherov on the right side of the power play, and he fanned on a couple one-timers. Kucherov doesn't fan on those things. That is the difference, the very, very slight difference in a game where a guy of that magnitude is missing. And then all of a sudden, late in the game, Matt gets a high sticking penalty now.
Oh, my God. Well,
which really wasn't.
How about the anxiety there? I mean, the fact of the matter was he's in the box with 5 minutes to go in a tie game. The last thing you wanted was his penalty to lead to.
Well, you saw this penalty happen. The opposing player, Maroon, lifts Matt's stick, and then Matt's stick hits Maroon in the face.
Yep.
I mean, so.
And he took a puck to the face last night, was out for a little bit, came back with a big fat lip.
Guess what? No smoochy with you-know-who. So there you go.
That's right.
That's not going to be happening for a while. And
the only guy watching that was like,
yeah, no smoochy going on. Yeah, but Sydney's going, Dad, I'm praying to Grandpa. Dad, I'm praying to Grandpa. I know he's with me, and I didn't want to tell her that Grandpa was a Ranger fan. But if that's what she felt and that's how it made her feel, then I was happy for her for sure. But, I mean, just an incredible look on TV, the sound on TV. And, they are a different team at home, in front of their fans. When their fans are going like they have been going through these playoffs, they play to that fan base. That's why Barry Trotz over the last couple weeks, 3, 4, 5 weeks, he's been talking about the home fans and being a part of his team because he knows Tampa Bay is a loaded hockey team. They have the best goaltender in the world, and in order to beat them, and the Islanders now have beaten them 3 times. They've gotten one step further than they did last year, and I think that a lot of it comes from their fan base and the way that they play at home. And somehow, some way, in a Game 7, they just gotta hope that their goalie's hot.
Well, they gotta hope that Kucherov doesn't play either.
Well, forget that.
Not forget that. The guy's one of the best players in the world. If he doesn't play, it changes the whole thing.
It changes the power play. There's no question about it, and it changes their line combinations a little bit. But you got to have a hot goalie, and you can't make bad turnovers, and you can't lose puck battles like Pelech did behind the net. You can't. You can't if you want to win. You got to be solid. I felt like when it was 2-0 last night, it was still an Islander type of game. It was still a low-scoring game. There weren't a lot of shots on goal.
Well, there had been no lead changes in this entire series.
It's crazy.
So that's why it wasn't, at least typical to this series, it was not.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, the agita in watching that 5-on-3, first the 4-on-3, then the 5-on-3, and them not able to score in those moments was, to me, I just, at that point, it felt bleak. And it wasn't. They still found a way. John
Cooper was right. I mean, there was where they called Sergachev, the defenseman for Tampa Bay, for interference on Matthew Barzal. The whole night, both teams are committing interference penalties. And if you're not really a true hockey fan, all that really means is that you're impeding a guy's ability to get to the puck by using your body. And you're not playing the puck yourself. So that's an interference. They could have called that 50 times last night. And they decided to call it, in that moment, at that point. And John Cooper, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, is going crazy on the bench. I would have been too. I'm like, and he's like, 5-on-3? Are you kidding me at this point in the game? And, their team, their penalty kill did an unbelievable job the last couple times that the Islanders had it. But there's just something about, people saying, well, they're underdogs. They don't have the same skill level and also. Let me just tell you something. Hockey is such a game that is about a team concept and how everybody has to do their job for both teams. And that's why last night was a great game. The penalty kills for the Tampa Bay Lightning were off the charts. The Islanders barely could get a shot on. The penalty kills for the Islanders, I mean, it's really about Varlamov and guys getting in front of pucks. And there were a couple times where there were guys open. Like I said, and Andre Palat whiffed on a couple. There was a Stamkos pass in front of the net that just barely missed. So it was tight all the way. But this is why playoff hockey, there is nothing like it. And now you have a Game 7, and they're going to have to, the Islanders will have to withstand, just like a 10-minute avalanche in this game. You always hear about weathering the storm. It is going to be an avalanche coming out of that locker room. And they know that. They know exactly what they're going to have to do. And hopefully they get a couple of lucky bounces and they don't have a couple of deflections going in. And Varlamov settles in, because once he finally settled in, he started making some great saves.
Sure, and you've seen two extremes in Tampa in this series. Game 1, where the Islanders essentially controlled most of that game, where Tampa Bay did not look like themselves, and it was a pure suffocation by the Islanders. And then Game 5, where it was, I mean, do you even factor that in trying to assess this Game 7, what happened there in Game 5? Because the last time we saw the Islanders in Tampa play in Tampa, I mean, it was a complete and utter blowout. But I can't imagine that we're going to see anything like that in this Game 7. And I really do believe, they could say all they want, as they were saying on the broadcast, that, Kucherov, they didn't play with him in the regular season, so they're used to not playing with him.
Only playing with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen.
That is a huge deal in his game. He's been such a factor in this series. He's been so good. He's been far and away the best player in the series.
Well, Braden Point's pretty good.
Yeah, I know, but Kucherov makes everything happen.
I know, but Braden Point's on the cusp of breaking a record, or at least tying a record.
9 straight, and it was a tie in the record with that guy from the Flyers
Reggie Leach,
in the 70s.
I don't like the fact that guy has the record.
Right,
so I'd rather see. I don't want to see Braden Point get the record now, but I'm just saying. He's an unbelievable player, but it does impact the power play more than anything else. But man, the fans are great. The national anthem's unbelievable.
What do you think about the beer being thrown?
I don't know. I don't know what that was all about.
Neither do I.
There was probably some meathead who was, I don't know, probably stopped at Pirelli's and probably had about 9 beers
meathead. It was like 100 cans of beer.
But it takes one meathead and then the rest of the meatheads follow. That was idiotic. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
I've never seen stuff thrown like that in celebration. After a win at your own players. And
I don't think they were throwing them at the players.
But you are when you're throwing it at the ice and the players are on the ice. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it's just it kind of reflects where we're from a little bit.
I don't know. Listen, they've been intense with class for the most part throughout this playoff run. That was a little weird. But I'm not going to get on the Islander fan this morning because they were just in pure ecstasy last night. But that was just bizarre. It
It's
was just
one
a
shift.
fact.
Listen,
No.
it's one shift,
Hold
one
on.
period, one game. You know that.
What I know, but it's not. He didn't say they were going to win. He
Yeah.
just said they are one win away from the Stanley Cup Final, which is factual. So are the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Now, I received two really unique gifts yesterday.
Okay.
Okay. The one I can't even explain, and maybe I'll bring it in for show and tell next week.
Yeah, please do.
I will, because I don't even know how to explain why somebody would give me the gift that I got yesterday. And I'll tell you about what the gift is. But I also come to work yesterday, and some guy by the name of Steve Kahn decides to send me this little ditty.
All right.
So this happens to be how would you describe this?
Caricatures of the Islanders championship team in which one of the cups was this? 1980.
And it's a Daily News. It was
Right.
like obviously a Bill Gallo photo.
It's a Bill Gallo drawing of the 1980 Islanders Stanley Cup champion group. Yes.
Right. So he sends this to me. Do you see Clark Gillies in there somewhere? Is he up here? I guess he's up here somewhere.
No, he's next
over
to
here.
the cup, isn't he?
No, is he? Is that him right
Yeah,
here?
no, it's him with the C on him, right?
No, that's him. That's Dennis Potvin with the C.
Well, I can't tell. Oh, yeah, all right. That's
Isn't that
him there. I guess.
The
Who
bad
knows?
joke teller that he is.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about salamanders and stuff in jokes, I'm not really sure what that is.
I'm not sure either.
But why would Steve Kahn send me this? Like, I'm a Ranger fan, so what am I doing with this?
You know, I think because Matt's on the team.
Yeah, but Matt's not in this picture.
Matt's
not in this picture.
I'm trying to just get into Mr. Khan's head here for a second. I don't know if you're probably not going to agree with it.
Right.
But because you're someone who's got a son-in-law on this current Islander team.
Right.
You love hockey so much.
Right.
And you're a New Yorker who has been here for many, many years. You've experienced all the ups and downs of New York sports. He just thinks of you when he sees that because it's like, hey, it's the past, it's the future, it's the Islanders. You're a Long Island guy. That's where he's going with it.
And I played New York sports.
You did.
I did for 3 years. It was a revolving door, but it was interesting. But just so you understand something, I'm a Ranger fan.
Yeah.
So why in the hell is he sending me this? And Steve, I appreciate it. It's very nice of you to send it to me. I'm going to put it in my solo stove. I think it
Could not do that.
Because I have one of the big solo stoves.
Yes.
And it's a little cool out.
The Yukon.
Yeah, and
that'll fit in the Yukon for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
And
I think it will burn nicely. It's wood on the back, I know, but it's like laminated on the front.
It'll stink a little bit.
And by the way, it's like really heavy.
It's heavy, yeah.
And then you could just video it for FSU Friday. You can send that in, maybe.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, sorry, I dropped it.
Why don't you give it to an Islander fan? Make somebody's day. Why don't you give it to Peter Schwartz? And he was alive for those cups. You hand it over to Peter Schwartz. He would probably take a picture of his family off the wall and hang that on there.
No, I actually showed it to Mike Fliegelman.
Oh, he's too young to appreciate that.
And I thought he was going to have a what in the other studio when he saw it.
Orgasm?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He got so excited.
Right.
Fleegs just, a huge Islander fan. Right, exactly. That's exactly how I felt. And you know what? He would appreciate this.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to end up giving it to Fliegelman.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice.
I just want Steve Kahn to know that I did receive it. I don't know why you sent it to me. It's just one of those gifts like what am I doing with this?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just give it to somebody that I think would really, truly appreciate it.
Right. Mike Fliegelman, huge Islander fan. Even though I wasn't alive for that, he appreciates the history.
But this is the thing. You got to know the history of your club.
And he knows it.
Right?
He definitely
and
does.
You should be proud. You have 4 Stanley Cups. That's why they have the slats on. That's why you see on Varlamas helmet, he's got the 4 lines.
No,
and
absolutely.
the hockey stick and everything. So, yeah. So I think and tomorrow Fliegelman's in for you, right, Eddie?
No, he's in for Al, sir.
Why what does that look? What's that for?
Yeah, what is that for? Where are you tomorrow?
Friday, summer Friday off. Sister's niece's graduation.
Sister's niece?
Well, my niece, my sister's
graduating
daughter.
what at 10 o'clock in the morning?
No, there's a graduation party.
But just
At 10 o'clock in the morning?
No, I just don't want to drive all the way here and back, then drive all the way there and back. It's too much driving. in
right,
one
just
day.
like last Friday, you and I had some place to be, so we took off. So it's okay.
It's just too much driving in one day.
I drove up early in the Friday.
That is true. Eddie did do
Yeah,
that.
he could have worked and driven.
Correct.
He could have, and he did not.
Well, I could have won early on Thursday. I could have left Wednesday if I wanted to.
Of course, yes.
And by the way, I will not be in studio tomorrow. I'll be doing it from home tomorrow
Interesting.
because I have Oh yeah, but I'm working. I'm working. Maybe you could work at home tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Do you ever think about that?
I'll work from my car on the drive.
Well, what time are you driving?
I don't know.
I mean, wait a minute. We work from 6 to 10. So because of the unbelievable technology now that CBS has given us, that if we have an opportunity, if you don't want to drive, then get your ass up and be a part of the show.
But you took off last Friday.
Yeah, but I had a wedding, man. I had all sorts of stuff going on. I had
Al,
responsibilities.
your things are not important. Okay? So just get that straight.
Or not as
So
important.
I could have taken off Tuesday, right? Like I normally have done in past years.
Yes.
For that same golf tournament, but I didn't. And not only did I not take off, I worked. Eddie also, I found out, was making fun of me and the way I looked. And I think you probably amplified it, but you guys, nobody ever told me.
Well,
You couldn't text me? You couldn't tell me, like, hey, you're a little shiny. Can you do something with the lighting?
No, because then that always turns into a whole thing.
Well, a whole thing.
And
Well,
it was just, to me, it didn't look as bad to me as it did to Eddie. Eddie was really trying to get me to talk about it, I think.
Who called him an iguana?
I don't know.
You did. Or you did.
No.
Did you call me an iguana? Was it you?
Eddie set me up, and he put the ball on the tee, and I hit it. That's all. It was just there was one
So
angle.
now I'm an iguana now.
There was one angle but stuff was projecting onto your face, and it made you look a little lizard-like. That's all. But then it got better, so I didn't say anything.
Lizard-like.
It was a little lizard-like.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't think it was as bad. I was just joining in on the fun. It was one of those things, It's like everybody's having a laugh. Why not join in on it? Type of thing.
So I'm going to tell you about my other gift I got when we come back when Jerry's in here because I want to see his reaction to it.
Okay.
Because I'm not really sure how to describe it, and I know that you are a wordsmith.
Okay, very good.
So
Sure.
you know what it is. I told you what it is.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Never heard anything like that in my life. Yeah.
Right, and it just showed up yesterday, and I got it from, a good buddy, good friend, not somebody I hang out with often, but for some reason he was thinking of us when he gave it to me. And I'll tell you what it is, but this is going to go to Fliegelman.
Perfect.
And
You're
I
not going to put it in the
Steve-
solo stuff.
I appreciate Steve Kahn sending it over, but I'm not keeping it.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.